Today we're going to look at the Stegosaurus 3D wooden puzzle by Kikkerland. So I've never done one of these wooden puzzles before, but from what I've seen, it's not that difficult. There is no real flavor text on the back and no difficulty. It does say ages 14 plus, so hopefully I qualify. So let's go ahead and open it up and we'll get to it. Alright, so it looks like it comes with some instructions and 2 boards. So it looks like it's pretty simple. It's not much of a puzzle, more of a wooden model like the metal ones we've done. The instructions are a bit more complicated this time, but at least it does give you a guide and how to take care of it. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just get on into it. Okay, so first part that we're going to start on here is going to be the body. We need to punch out these larger pieces. Luckily, we don't need any tools to do so. It just comes right on out. And we can be a little bit rough with it. It's not too durable, but it can take a little bit of force to push these things out. We don't need to worry about the little teeth holding it in. So we look for some of the ribs here. And the way that they're spaced out, it's kind of difficult to put them together the way that I'm doing it. And you'll see in a moment that I pull out some of the bottom ribs and take the thing apart essentially to put it back together. And it held much better that way. There we go. And made sure that both of the outer pieces are facing away from each other, because each side has little graphics on it. And here I go, put the other bottom rib piece in. Now putting these together, sometimes it does take a little extra force to push it in there and lock them in, because these pieces kind of like to bend a bit. But it's in there pretty securely. I start putting the other rib pieces in. Do have to readjust it because that front piece is open and the 2 outer pieces like to bend inward. And it just didn't feel right, so you'll see me kind of mess with it over and over again until we have another piece in there to fill it up. We continue with the back spine. Oh, where is it? There we go. Next one's a pretty big piece. And sometimes you'll see me grab some of the cutters there to cut away little pieces that get stuck inside the little riblets there. It's important that while you do need to be a little forceful with it, you also want to be gentle with these pieces because they can break, as evidenced by the pieces of wood, the boards left behind. So here we go with the very last piece on the body. There we go. And we'll go ahead and move on to the head. Now the head was a little difficult to get those pieces in because they did not want to stay, and we did have to be careful because it'd be just absolutely embarrassing if we were to break anything. Oops. Well, I'm just an apprentice archaeologist. These things happen. We'll just have to make sure to be much more careful in the future. So we go ahead and put these side bones on. They give it a little bit extra character. And now it is time to attach the head to the body. Being careful as you do so, not to grab anything too roughly. With the head and body done, we'll go ahead and move on to the left legs, starting with the back haunches. If you ever see me pause or fiddle with any of the pieces, it's just because I'm not quite sure of how it feels. It feels a little funny sometimes. But we do manage to make this leg and get it to stand up. And this little piece was very loose and did not like the way it felt. But we use a bit of pressure to get it up in there and connect it to the body. Now the front left leg. Oh, looks like I just figured out what the sandpaper was for. That came with the project here. Sometimes you need to sand off some of the edges there to make sure that things fit. And there we go, leg number 2. Just as easy as that. Let's try to stand them up. It didn't work. Alright. So next steps here are going to be the side, I guess, ribs? It's not really ribs that way, but side body pieces. And these are awkward because it only fit in one way and stuck on, holding everything in place. And a lot of pressure was needed to put this piece in. Just want to make sure we don't break anything. Alright, good. Perfect. Now we go ahead and take out these tiny little pieces that go on the side, and we'll get them in. What a disgrace. Broke another rib. This poor, poor dinosaur. Good thing it is already dead. Moving on, we do the back spines. To make a little bit of an adjustment there because it just didn't feel like it felt right, like it fit in right. Alright, and as we move on to the other legs, why don't you guys go ahead and tell me what your favorite dinosaur is in the comments below, and why it's your favorite, why it's the best. Now, you will see me struggle here a bit. I didn't realize until after several minutes of struggling that I was putting this leg in the wrong pegs. And I just couldn't figure out why it was not fitting. Let's try sanding it down a little bit. Nope. Still is not fitting. Maybe I'm just not putting enough pressure on it. Too much pressure. Too much pressure in the wrong spot. Third strike, I am out. The Society of Bone Hunters are just gonna throw me right on out. Oh, looks like I have figured out that I had it in the wrong spot. Good job. Alright, so as we fix this mistake, one of these days I'm going to learn where the camera is pointing at, and you'll be able to see everything on camera. We'll go ahead and move on to this last leg. All in all, this wooden puzzle wasn't too bad to put together. And I had a lot of fun doing so, even though I was worried that I would break even more as I got closer and closer to the end. And, let's see, hopefully it doesn't happen again. Uh-oh, this piece is giving us some trouble. Whew. Alright, thank goodness. Looks like everything went in alright. Getting down to the last few pieces here. Gotta put these tiny little pieces in the side. And then the back plates. Now we can move on to the tail. Gotta put in a couple more supportive structures. And now the spikes. There we go, no more damage. And finally, the last piece here is the final structure to the head. Which is another piece that I was very concerned we would break. Let's see if I break it or not. Oh. Perfect. And there we have it. The finished Stegosaurus with only a small fraction of damage done to it. As best as we tried to avoid that. Sometimes it happens in archaeology. Gotta break a few bones to make a couple of dinosaurs. I'm pretty sure that's how the saying goes. So if you guys like that, go ahead and give it a like. Tell me what a horrible archaeologist I would be for breaking bones while I put this thing together. And thank you, as always, for joining me. Hope you guys have a great day. You spin me right round, baby, right round.